My name is Rhapsody and welcome to Desktop Dungeons Enhanced Edition. You may have already seen this featured in a recent Rhapsody Take a Peek. If you haven't, I'll leave that linked in the top of the description down below. But also, if you haven't, it's okay. I'll be tutorializing a little bit for the first couple episodes of this game. I'm not necessarily going to be tutorializing as well as I sometimes do, because this is a game that I have a huge amount of experience in, but a very long time ago. Back when this wasn't an enhanced edition, back when it was an alpha that was only available on the web, I had a huge, insane amount of hours in it. Unfortunately, they don't really track hours in, Mozilla Firefox at the time in terms of games. So I don't necessarily know exactly how much time, but it was my sole obsession for a few years at the absolute least. That knowledge may not necessarily be transmissible or recoverable, so it's definitely going to be a kind of new exploration for me as well. Also, it's not like I'd played the Enhanced Edition before outside of the Take a Peek. So, we've got a kingdom that we must name here. Oh, by the way, Desktop Dungeons is a old school-ish roguelike. It'll make a lot more sense as we actually go into the run itself. Kingdom name. So the obvious one is Rhapsody, right? Ooh, that's very small. Let's go with the Rhapublic. I like that. It's been my go-to for a while. Now, there's a lot of narration early on as well. I'm not going to linger on it too long. Creatures attacked in the night. The caravan was unprepared. Travelers had been warned about the unexplored realms, but pride often plays tricks on reason. Flame and blood engulfed the defenders, nomads, exiles, and vagabonds with only a handful of real fighters among them. Injured and ill-trained and separated from one another, many of the survivors had no choice but to press into a nearby network of maze-like caverns. Which is where we find our player character, Rapier Dungeoneer. You're a human guard at the moment as well. So we can see if we fought this goblin. So combat in this is literally direct, right? It is a single instance of combat if you click on an enemy. So they have first strike, which means they are going to hit us first. You can see that over directly below the goblin. And that's why we're not going to be dealing any damage to them. They're also level 1, and we're also level 1. So if we want to be able to survive against them, knowing that they do 2 damage, we can see that located on their stat screen. They're 2 damage, we can see their first strike. All of their stats will be down here, all of our own stats will be further up. I'll explain each of these stats as they become relevant. I'm not just going to overload by explaining the ones that aren't necessarily yet relevant. And there's one of them that I'm not even going to be explaining for a really long period of time. That's going to be fun, because I don't necessarily know that one super well. Let's go to a space and see what happens. So the 3 spaces that we just discovered each gave us 1 health. We can see our health, determined by base stats and bonuses, has health regeneration of 1 per block. So every time we discover a undiscovered block, we are going to heal by 1. And we can also see that the same would happen with our mana. So we've got ourselves up to 4, but if I go down to this space, now I'm on 7 total. So I can survive a single hit against the goblin. In fact, I can survive 2 of them. So I fight the goblin, and then fight the goblin again, killing it. Discover some more spaces. You can move diagonally, which is what they're trying to demonstrate to you here. We're back up on full HP. We find another goblin. This one has 3 damage in first strike. Their stats won't be different outside of things in the tutorial, right? They will have more standardized stats, I believe. So usually we'll be able to look at a level 1 goblin and go, oh, we know that has 6 HP. We know that does 3 damage. Or, whatever the case happens to be outside of this dungeon. Sure. So, one thing I can do here is I can strike you, and then I can try and explore. And if I explore, I will get 3 HP back from the 3 tiles discovered, and you're level 1, you'll also get 3 HP back from the 3 tiles discovered, I believe. So if I go here, you should be back on 4 HP. There we go. Then I can hit you. So the enemies do heal as you're also exploring, but not necessarily to the right breakpoints that make the right difference. So you can play around with hit an enemy, run and go discover something, hit an enemy, run and go discover something. That's more effective with other things we'll find later on, such as spells that you may want to cast. Okay, so here we have a zombie that is undead and bloodless. It is undead, so it cannot be poisoned physically. It has no blood. It will not leave a blood pool on the ground. Currently, the blood pools don't really mean much to us, but they will in the future for other characters and in other situations. I'll just take the standard whaps there. We can also see each time we're killing one of these, we're getting 1 experience. We've got a total of 5 experience to get to the 2nd level. Ah, the good old non-copyright infringing meat man. Yeah, let's give him some business. 1, 2, get him. And we'll also take out this zombie before we move as well. So a large amount of this game, based on the fact that when you heal up, you heal back up all of your mana and all of your health. And as you explore, obviously, you're regaining mana and health, but you're running out of tiles to explore. It is about managing those resources such that you have the ability to level up and become powerful enough to actually complete the entire dungeon. That was a water bottle. No matter. Don't mind about it. All right. Zombie goes down. We can see that we've leveled up. We can see that we've got full everything. We can also see that our base stats have changed, and we're now healing 2 per block. Let's start making our way up here. We can see this goblin has first strike and 8. It's a level 2 goblin, so we can actually just still fight you. Easy. Make our way up here through the diagonal. Here we see, these aren't called glyphs, right? What are they called? They're called somethings, but they are just increases to our base stats. They literally look exactly like the stat they increase. So we go over here, we get 1 damage. Specifically, actually, what it gave us is 10% bonus to our damage, to whatever our base damage should happen to be at the time. You can modify your base damage with things like items, being a different class, etc. Some spells will do it in different ways. Some events will do it in different ways. But leveling up is the primary way that you increase your base damage, and then you increase it otherwise, usually, by increasing the bonus percentage that it deals. And then we go over here for another mana. Ah, here's our first spell. Burn Deraz. Burn Deraz. Burns your enemies for 4 points of magical damage per character level, slowing their regeneration. So my character level is 2 right now. So this should deal 8 damage and slow the regeneration of a character that I hit with it. These goo blobs have 90% physical resist, which would make them pretty hard for me to actually fight. You can see, here's actually a good point to introduce this. You can see when I target an enemy, the effects that it would have if I won on my EXP. So you can see that I would go from 2 EXP currently out of 10 to 4 out of 10. You can also see the breakpoints on my HP. You can see that I have the ability to take 14 damage 2 times until I die from the next hit, right? You can see that in our health bar here. And then you can also see that on the enemies. So I can see that I would have to go through 4 rounds of combat before the enemy would actually even be vulnerable to dying on the next hit. So yeah, definitely we're using Burn Deraz. Get him. Burn Deraz also costs 6, so I don't have the ability to cast it again with the 11 that I currently have in the pool. I could obviously explore. But before I do that instead, I think I'm just gonna kill you, because now when I explore, I'm not only gonna be getting back mana, I'm also gonna be getting back health. So you really want to eke out as much value as you possibly can in these kinds of scenarios. We'll go up here and get ourselves a health potion, which cures poison, as well as heals up our character at will. Do that with a mana potion as well, which cures mana burn, as I now know. And also heals up your mana at will. Hello, goo blob. Got one of those. Okay, so I can kill this enemy in a single cycle if I get him with the Burn Deraz first. And then we leveled up afterwards anyway, so I didn't even need to do that. Because we were going to have perfect management afterwards anyway. Hello, Glue Bob. Get got. Sensation Stone has a high conversion value. The sensory stone seems completely inert at first, but yields great rewards after a conversion process. We'll pick it up because that's what it's telling us to do. And then we'll demonstrate the conversion that it wants us to do. So if I take any of my items here, I could take other items like the potions, they convert for 10. Like the spell Burn Deraz converts for 100. The Sensation Stone converts for 150. You can see that in the bottom right of the little portrait of it. And when a conversion occurs, based on the race of the character that you are playing. So here we're playing a human. We've got elves, undead, etc., so on and so forth, dwarves. I actually don't know if undead is one, but specifically a human will get a 10% attack bonus for every 100 conversion points. So we convert here, we get 1.5 levels of those conversion points because we get to 100 and then we get 50 towards the next level, 100. And that's given us 10% more on our base damage. All right, so we got 10% from picking up the rune and 10% from the conversion there as well. Okay. Let's give you some business. Yes. You're going to be a bit harder to give business to. What if I burn Dayras on you and then move? You've healed up fully, but I can now hit you. Actually, let's hit you with 2. Wait, I can't hit you with 2 burn Dayras. Don't have enough for it. Dang. Okay, there, then around. Yeah, we'll leave you there for a bit. That's not good. You another burn, right? We'll see why burning a unit multiple times can be particularly helpful later on, but I don't need to try and do that now. Pendant of Health. It offers 10 maximum hit points when you pick it up. It's obviously quite nice. Just looking for some low-level enemies to kill. Anywhere? There you are. We can get you. And we can do that as a very, like, health-expensive combat because we know we're doing more exploring afterwards and healing back up. Okay, can I... You deal 15? Yeah, okay. I can burn Dayras here, and then attack, and then attack, and then attack one more time, leaving myself on 1 HP and 2 mana. And then I get a huge amount of restoration out of the level up that it also gives us. So you want to waste as few resources as possible. This Warlock. Can I get you in a single hit? I can get you in a single hit now. Beautiful. Get him in a single hit now. Yes. What about you, though? Can get you in 2. Beautiful. Continue exploring. Give another burnt Dayras to this zombie. Continue exploring again. So I'll try and tutorialize it without over-tutorializing it, so I'm not really repeating myself too much. I don't know how to bleat. I'm not good at that one. That's a bar. Well, I mean, barring is bleeding, right? Yes. So we can see that I would be safe hitting this enemy here. I would survive on 1 HP because I have 32 HP and they have 31 damage. But I need to be able to kill them. So how do I kill them? Well, feels like I'm a little ill-equipped to do it at the moment. So let's continue exploring and see if we find anything that helps us. Ooh, a health potion. That seems like that might help us. And I can level up if I fight Meatman here. So that seems like that'll help us too. Because I can manually fight Meatman and level up, what I can actually even do is use a burn Dayras on the goat and then fight the Meatman to heal back up my mana so that I can use another burn Dayras on the goat. And then I can just fight it by myself. Or I can even get more mana, burn Dayras the goat again, and then fight it myself. This trophy is what I came here for. Grab it and let's go. That is the that is if I want to run away with that right now. But before I do so, I'm going to come down here and loot some gold. I love gold. I love to loot the gold. Ooh, there are actually. I thought I'd reach the border of the map over in this direction. Oh, there's another enemy down here. Give you the business. Oh my god, there's even more. So now we want to eke out as much value as we can get by the end of the dungeon, because you'll see that these don't only have a conversion value, they also have a monetary value. If I take them back to town, I get to sell them for the monetary value. Let's go. Congratulations on making it through your first dungeon. In case you're still uncertain about some things, we'd like to offer you the guided tutorials before plunging into the full game experience. Otherwise, feel free to move on to the more complicated play scenario straight away. I'm going to move onwards. We're not going to go through the basic tutorial for this one because I believe the things in the basic tutorial are basically all of the things that I just told you, with a couple modifications that I will mention as they become relevant. The Aftermath. Many perished in the days and weeks following the attack. Some were slaughtered by cave denizens, others became trapped or lost. Stronger survivors prevailed against the darkness, banding together to establish a crude outpost in the heart of the wilderness. If this fledgling settlement is to survive beyond its first few weeks, its people will need a reliable, well-trained force of heroes to keep enemies at bay. This is where your job begins. As elected administrator of this rabble, it will be up to you to expand the settlement, recruit the heroes, expand the settlement and recruit the heroes needed to defend your people. So this is the unit, actually this is the unit right here. He's not always going to be in that position. But this is the unit that is going to be talking most commonly. So I don't want to give him the voice that I don't want to give him the voice that I think he has. Most honorable administrator, I've been elected by the good people of this settlement to tell you what to do in order to make sure everyone else, to tell you what to do in order to tell everyone else what to do. You may consider me an advisor of sorts. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to do that voice for it, just because it can be a little grating, certainly. I'm happy to do it consistently. I have a D&D character that has that as his voice right now, but we need a little bit of a gnome nerd kind of voice, right? He feels in that kind of realm. Your new position gives you reasonability, responsibility over our collected funds and efforts. This represents the resources that we've managed to scrounge together so far. Your current task is ensuring our survival, so I recommend investing our limited funds into training and arming some real defenders. You can check on the Outpost over here. So here's the Outpost. It's time to move up in the world. Click here to open the upgrade panel. Upgrade this structure by clicking on a helpfully labeled button right here. It'll allow us to start recruiting our first available hero type, the Fighter. So we have the Fighters. The Fighters are heroes who go about hitting evil things for a living. They're generally good at surviving long enough to brag about it afterwards. Now that we've upgraded that, we have unlocked the ability to take them out on missions. Administrator, remember this moment well, for you have just taken your first tentative steps down a long and glorious path. Under your guidance, these survivors will build a kingdom to challenge the gods themselves. Admirable clicking and spending, noble administrator. You've just unlocked the Fighter class. These hardy warriors are superior to normal guards in several ways. They excel at taking down opponents and gaining experience quickly. So, let me hover over those for a second. Administrator, our scouts have discovered some monster lairs in the surrounding area. It's time to fight them. Time to take the fight to them. Let's have our heroes load up before they move out. They can return when they have some monster heads and or other souvenirs of victory. Well, that sounds like an interesting prospect. Oh, sorry for butting in. We'll chat later. Are you ready to send someone on their next adventure? Just select a platform, and we'll get to filling out your hero's permit form. Alright, let's take 1,000 cuts up here in the top left first. Great! Just confirm your selection here. It's a legal requirement of the Selection Confirmation Committee. We'll do so. 1,000 Cuts. The Cave of 1,000 Cuts receives its name from the dreaded Monster Lord who resides here. While not particularly vicious, his endurance makes him difficult to kill outright. Sir Digby has the goat horn here, and we can see the threat is whatever that represents. I imagine not particularly difficult. Now, let's go about recruiting your next dungeon hero. You'll need two things, race and class. For now, just use the human because, well, nobody else is around yet. Oh, also would have said something about the fighter. And then we click the fighter. Your new hero has been bureaucratically cleared. Have them sally forth by hitting the play button. Let's sally forth after having hit the play button. So, human fighter, what do you got? They have instincts. Monsters of an equal or lower level to themselves always have their locations revealed, so this is why we can see all of these already on the screen. Veteran starts with 1 level of the learning buff and less XP needed per level. So the learning buff is gain an extra XP per kill. So early, we're going to be able to rack up a lot of growth. Pit Dog starts with a layer of death protection, and then we can see the layer of death protection, protection against the killing blow. A single killing blow, and then that'll be disappeared. You're playing as a human fighter. Humans get a 10% attack bonus for every 100 conversion points, and we have the things that I just mentioned. You can also get up-to-date information on your character's status effects by hovering over the icons on your portraits. Clicking will show a full effect list. This is what we just did. Beautiful. All right, so I want to find a dense area of enemies that I can fight right now. Let's go down here. Ooh, wait, what? This is so good. So wait, what? Costs 8 mana. It's very expensive. But you swap places with the enemy, adding a slow debuff. The slow debuff is they cannot blink, they cannot retreat, and they cannot retaliate. They strike second, and they give you bonus experience. It's huge. We're going to pick that up, and then we're going to use that to get a ridiculous amount of experience super early here. So this unit would usually hit first. But it's still going to take me 2 hits to kill this unit, and if I hit them when they're slowed, and they don't die, they're no longer slowed. So what I actually do is I attack you, then I trade position with you. I use the hotkey to do that. T is the hotkey for wait, what. Then I trade position with you. Power-ups like this only improve maximum stats and have short-term benefits, so pick them up as soon as possible. But now the enemy is slowed, and they only have 4 HP, because they only regenerated 3 when I discovered 3 new tiles, and then I hit them back, gaining an extra XP. So you can see I'm getting 3 XP out of a level 1 character. That's particularly good. So I'll basically want to do pretty much exactly that again. So we'll go here, do that. Finish you off, getting to our level 2. Level 2 didn't really reveal more enemies. Burn Day Raz. So I can take this, or... I mean, I can pick it up regardless, right? I can convert it later. But I do like the idea of converting this to get extra damage. Getting such experience is nice. You know what? I'm actually just gonna go out on a limb and burn it instantly. Move there, take that hit. Get enough experience to do another wait, what? So that breakpoint, by the way, that is directly next to death, the one that looks like it's not a breakpoint for hitting this enemy, that's our death protection. So I could hit this enemy 2 times and then wait, what, swap them and then hit them again. But it's also easier to just do that later. I don't have any particular special benefits. Ooh, nice, get some damage. I don't have any... Oh, another wait, what? Yeah, this one definitely gets converted. Let me see. Uncovers 3 random dungeon tiles with normal regeneration benefits. Seeks nearby enemies. I'm okay without that. I'm also gonna convert that. Can I now? Ooh. Wow, this is actually really good, because now I have enough damage to actually kill this goblin in 2 hits. I hit you, and then I wait, what, swap you, because you are... Oh, no! Oh, I discovered a new tile, and I healed the enemy. Okay, I'm going to have to do that again. Yep. Okay, so what we do now is I hit you, then I swap you with wait, what? You're slowed, and because you're slowed, you will attack second. So I can actually just kill you here. And then get a very hasty level. Okay. Dungeon Hint Writers Guild Memo number 1. When fighting monsters, pay attention to the combat indicator in the rightmost panel. If it says death, you probably shouldn't attack. So that specifically is referring to the next hit safe kind of situation that's going on over here. This would be if I wanted to commit to that action, to click on that button right now. Another let me see. I'm going to convert that, definitely. Swap to you and kill you. Swap to you and kill you. Get rid of Burnt Raz again. I'm just going to level up to full. That's my plan here. So I hit you and then swap you and then kill you. Good. Doing basically the same thing we did with Goblin before. You can see now that I'm trying to go to the pockets of little undone explorations to try and get a little bit of healing to go back here. So that's part of the management system that I was talking about. Yeah, unfortunately you did get enough HP back from that. That's really annoying. I would have been able to calculate that, and I should have. Just should have done that. Oh well. So I'll go up here, get all that back. Now I can go hit you, swap with you, and then hit you for the kill, getting the getting the 5th level rather. So you want to fight the most powerful enemy that you can. You want to typically want to fight the most powerful enemy you can. You want to make sure that you get regeneration from as many spots as you can. You want to level up with as low HP as possible, right? It's a lot of pressing your luck. But because you know deterministic results, well, most things you know deterministic results. There are things like block. But because you know deterministic results of many things, you can plan to be able to do so. Dungeon Hint Writers Guild member number 2. Casting Fireball means a free attack. Use it as often as possible, even if you're a fighter. Yeah. But what if I didn't want to do that instead? What if that?
Foul Nemesis! It appears as though you've discovered my base of operations. I cannot suffer your presence and allow you to leave. Regards, Sir Digby, the goat, who is possibly and totally a boss character.
Hello, Sir Digby the goat. How's it going, bud? I would actually be able to kill them right now. Attack, attack, attack with death blow resistance on myself. Swap, and then attack against. One more time. I mean, obviously I could use the potions even to push it right now if I really wanted to. But I want to explore as much as possible and keep as much monetary value in my pocket as I can. None of the spells would have sold for money when I got back to town, so that's why I was so keen on getting rid of those. Or rather, so trigger happy to do so. Yep. Okay, there's my 8th. I'm gonna swap you. Just trying to get enough experience back to... There we go, get the next level. Now, I could just go and win this fight right now, but I think I should at least clear out this bottom line too. Hit you. So if I swap you, you'll heal by 8 right now. Which I think still means that I get the kill. And in fact, it does means that. I don't think I can actually get enough level for experience for another level right now. Unless this enemy is level 5, but I'm pretty sure it's not. Three. Okay, let's go to this one. Passage, explore a little more of the dungeon. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, I don't have the ability to get him. No. Come and fight me, coward. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave. There is a rune, a glyph rather, called Wanna Fight. Which would just teleport that enemy to me and slow them. That's the one that we would have wanted there. Okay, everything else I'm pretty sure I've explored. Good, let's just go for the fight then. 1, 2, 3. We pop level 7, but at the same time, we also get the Goat Horn Trophy and have the ability to leave. Here's our reward screen at the very end. You can see the event log showing our level up, our pickups, our conquered enemies. You can see the amount of time that it took us, the amount of damage we did. You know, you can see all the kinds of things. This is a particularly telling area, I feel, the regeneration. It shows you how many tiles you explored, how much health you could have gotten, how much mana you could have gotten, and then also how much you actually did get, right? So what you really want to do is try and have these have very little wastage. But sometimes it doesn't even help you to hit an enemy and then run away. Like they heal at the same rate, or the breakpoints don't work out in your direction. So you're never going to have all of it. But good utilization typically wants more of it than not, especially on magic. Yeah, we can see the experience we earned over the course of it as well. We can see down here our earnings. So we carried out 25 gold. We also sold a health potion and a mana potion. I thought we had multiple health potions and mana potions. And the goat, well, we must have, right? Because 25, 175, that's 30. 175 and 30. Yeah, that's actually enough. Okay, so it didn't sell multiple health and mana potions. Interesting. Do you sell a stack of mana potions for 15 and a stack of health potions for 15? Or maybe they're worth 5 apiece and we have 3 of each. That's also possible. We can see down here badges. Those aren't going to be relevant just yet, but they are effectively doing it in an interesting way, right? So like, an example would be kill the final boss while 3 levels lower than them, or something like that, right? You wouldn't get all the badges in the same attack. We can also see our prerequisites for the adventure. We can see we came out with just an adventuring kit, which is what gave us the extra mana pot and the extra health pot at the very start. Later on, we will be able to start adventures with multiple different things. All right. Quest complete. Trophy hunting.
Victory. Your hero parades through the muddy streets of your rapidly growing settlement, goat horn clasped in one mailed fist. Rose petals and jubilant shouts alike fill the air as townfolks come out to celebrate. Amidst the glee, a lone figure approaches you as you recline in your administrator's parade viewing chair.
Hi there! I can't help but notice the sheer amount of fun you're having with all that chunk of monster skull. I happen to have a business proposal related to that. This may seem rather forward, but I was once a renowned taxidermist in the surrounding regions, and I know a lot of very rich buyers who would love a mounted beastie head of some kind hanging over their fireplace. Bragging rights, see? Long story short, I think I'd like to buy that trophy from you. I've got the gold right here. This new kingdom still needs some kind of regular income, right? Well, work with me and we can build the entire economy around hunting and slaying evil. I'm pretty sure this would turn into a long and mutually profitable relationship.
Trophy is sold. We sold it for 150 gold, and we've unlocked guild expansion.
There's more than one way to slay the average dungeon monstrosity, and the kingdom's population is one of diverse talents and interests. Magic users, holy men, and even common cut pursers are commonly interested in the good fight, especially if there's money involved.
Monster trophies are a useful, valuable source of kingdom income. Let's put that money to use by building ourselves a second guild. Upgrading this structure will give you priests. They're reliable slayers of undead with impressive health buffs. Upgrading this structure will give you wizards. They start off with a free fireball, lower mana costs, and other abilities that make their glyph use much easier. And upgrading this structure will give you thieves. They excel at squeezing extra value out of dungeon resources and deal a little extra damage to unsuspecting opponents. Select a building to upgrade now. Let's do it for the Thief Den and upgrade. Unlocking for ourselves a Thief.
Our brave new kingdom is still in grave peril. The denizens of nearby dungeons are breathing down our necks. If a brave hero wanders in and slays the leader of each area, the rest should be demoralized enough to scatter.
Most autonomous and independently thinking administrator. I believe you've learned enough to start performing kingdom duties in whichever way you see fit. I'll still be on hand to advise you when new matters come up, but from here on, you may consider your decisions and opportunities somewhat more open. Have fun!
And I think that we will. This roguelike is commonly described as like a perfect coffee game. A lot of the individual missions will take 10 minutes-ish, around there. And I have series that have ballooned in length. I used to have, occasionally like a daily 20-minute series, and then occasionally a 40-minute series alongside it, and then, special events might be an hour and a half or something like that. Now my normal is closer to an hour and a half. This is definitely going to be a kind of pressure release valve, something that is a lot easier to bank recordings of, because I'm going to be limiting myself to closer to 20 to 30-minute episodes for these. Which also does mean, hey, we're a little over time at the moment, aren't we? For the moment, my name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Desktop Dungeons Enhanced Edition. You'll be able to find all the links you're looking for in the description down below to the Rhapsody Take a Peek, where we do explore this game a little bit more, as well as have discussions with one another over the course of it. It's a good time, if nothing else. Just hanging out with friends, basically. And also, I'll leave down there the Steam store page where you can pick the game up for yourself, as well as a playlist with all of the episodes in this series, present, and future. Final thing, for the first episode of a new series, it is particularly important to ask, if you do like the videos, please click like. It does help me get my content out to new people, and it matters one hell of a lot more than you know. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you next time.